I think there's a lot of young players, so we'll probably get it's a high intensity game. They'll obviously fight and try and give you guys a game. I think South Africa, with the players we've got, probably sort of the favourites. I would think, because New Zealand's got quite a few players pull out as well, and there's a lot of younger players coming in. So not many of them have played senior first team for the Whites. So yeah. No, I just saw little bits and pieces on Monday online and stuff like that. So, but I mean, it's pretty good for you guys with a second string team and doing well against the Australians. So, yeah, it's good to have depth in your squad. I think all games are important. You test yourself against different oppositions, whether they quality or the stronger teams or the weaker teams. I think sometimes it's harder when you play weaker opposition, because you might get more of the ball, and then to see if you can unlock their defence and stuff like that. So I think for South Africa it'd be a good test in the sense of, if they do dominate the game, it's to see how they can open and unlock defences. I didn't watch too much about your game against Australia, so I don't know how the game really went and what terms of possession South Africa had against Australia. I reckon you get a good crowd because, believe it or not, although it's a rugby country, there's a lot of kids that play football, and they're football mad, they love football. The clubs do well at a youth level in terms of quantities and passion. And like I said earlier on, when you get to a senior level, it seems to all fade away because you don't have the coaches, you don't have the money, you don't have the infrastructure to have a professional setup so players can go and adapt and learn. Very disappointed, and the African Cup of Nations was terribly disappointing because I always follow that as well. So, but I mean, I look at it as probably South Africa's going through a building phase, which is all countries and it goes through it. So hopefully we'll be there for the next one. I think today's footballers, compared to the footballers of old, the footballers of old were more, they had more fight in them, more characters, more determination, more winning. I think today's younger players are focused on money and what car they drive and things like that. In the old days we played for not a lot of money. I think when I started playing for Bafana, you only got 5,000 rand appearance fee. I don't know what they're getting now, 30,000.
How much did you get for?
5,000, 2,500 appearance and 2,500 win bonus. It doesn't rank that high, but I said like amongst the kids and that, it's quite popular. And it's obviously just trying to get it up to the next level. With rugby, they've got the coaches, they've got the infrastructure. Whereas football, I think, is still a growing thing in New Zealand in terms of senior football. I think coming here, the South African game was a lot faster. But then I've played in some teams where if we go and play, like we played Sydney FC in the Oceania Championship, and they were a professional team, and we were an amateur team, and we held our own. I think we lost 3-2, and they scored a free kick in the last minute. But we were by no means outplayed. And then obviously going to the first Club World Cup where I think we underperformed and stuff like that. We were outplayed by the Moroccan, Egyptian champions.
Al Ali.
Yeah, Al Ahly, yeah. And then obviously we learned from that because the next time we went back we were better prepared and like I said, we beat the African champions at the time, so which was quite good.